Welcome to Live at the Blue Box. It is now time for This Week in Geek, January 23rd, 2016. Those of you sitting here may have heard this, but Edward has had a glandular problem this week.
What?
He's gone through puberty. Congratulations, Edward.
Thank you. Welcome
I thought you were being serious. I'm like, something's wrong with Edward.
No, Edward.
I feel so bad making fun of him.
Take my wife seriously.
No, I would only make fun if it was something actually serious.
I don't know about that.
Too soon.
Too soon. Yeah, I would have tweeted something out earlier than this. So, all right, real quick, we've had a couple of changes this week, and also William behind the scenes isn't here, so Jacob is flying solo. Can you handle it, Jacob?
Did you shoot first, Jacob?
Yeah. That was. You know what? Even if he was mic'd, you still couldn't have heard that. He said, "Yeah." And we have also made a change in how we're lining things up. No more Twitch. See you, Twitch. We're not doing Twitch anymore. We're doing exactly. We're doing. We're on YouTube Live. Hopefully, we're on Google Hangout. We're on Periscope, and we're on Meerkat. And hopefully next week, the sound will be even better on those other things. YouTube and Google should be fine, but Periscope and Meerkat might be a little sketchy. It should be improved by next week.
Is that your new audio app? Kind of sketchy?
Yes, kind of sketchy, yeah. I just keep changing things up a little bit. We had a meeting this week, and we made some changes. It's all good. So let's introduce ourselves. Let's start with our special guest star.
I am Scott Sammons.
There's a lot of build-up for that. And next to you is...
I'm Alil Kanitsa. I host the League of Geeks podcast, Sports Geeks podcast, co-host with Rob Nuffsaid and many others.
Are you on Insurance Geeks podcast?
Insurance Geeks.
No.
Or is that an oxymoron? I'm just wondering.
Sure. We are
half right.
We're all geeks in the insurance world. So
That's
yes.
right.
Oh, you're also cool. You're cool, Brewster.
We have great conventions. No, teasing.
No. And then you on the end. That is an awesome plug.
Thank you. I am Chris Mao, co-owner of Blue Box Cafe, where we are recording right now, and co-host of several versions of shows.
Lots
Currently
of stuff.
doing Gamma podcast. That's we're watching the Incredible Hulk TV show. We're doing it on the 80s reboot Overdrive channel of Southgate Media Group. So.
And we're still doing Disturbed. We're still not done with that.
Yes.
Almost.
Almost.
We're dragging over the finish line. I love the show, but my God. And then
we're on tape delay. We're on the Czechoslovakian version of 2 weeks later.
This third season of American Horror Story has been amazing. That's how far behind we are. Okay.
Saturday Night Live, the 20th year reunion.
And I'm Rob Southgate, and I'm co-owner of Southgate Media Group. And, let's jump into it. Those of you that are watching us on these things, Jacob is manning YouTube. He is supposedly going to be writing to you and asking questions as we go along, so harass him. And
he's
same
cute.
thing on Periscope and Meerkat. If you write things
You're
in,
cute.
we have people that are watching. Theoretically, they will be writing right along with you. So let's jump into it. I want the first one.
What? Drop the
right
bomb.
up front. I am.
Bombing.
Did you guys see the Suicide Squad trailer?
Yes.
Yes. This time I actually saw
Holy cow. If I get hate from you on this one, then
It's coming.
you're going to have to leave.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming? Is it really?
He hasn't shaved since he's working at home now. So
I haven't either.
No, I haven't started the new position yet. So it's just.
But he's a short timer in his current position, so he's going to look like crap for the next couple weeks.
That's not true at all.
I'm putting in all the effort.
I love those people. No, I look good with a little scruff going.
Is it compensation?
No, go ahead with what you think is Suicide Squad.
Well, I want to hear what you guys thought, because I just tipped my hand. I thought it was awesome. I have qualms with it. Well, I have some qualms with it. But I think it's going to be fun. I have a much better feeling about this than I do about Batman v Superman.
I guess my position on this is I'm sure it'll be good. I don't know if it'll be great. People are trying to compare it to Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't know if it's got that because
it's trying to.
It doesn't have that fun vibe that Guardians did with the ragtag group.
It's
Here's
not
my
fun
thing
though.
Also, is I don't like that they went with the new 52 Harley Quinn origin story with the Joker throwing her in the like. They
showed it in the trailer. That was one of my problems. They showed it, and it's like, no, that's Joker's origin story, and I would have much rather seen her be like have her in Arkham, so it's post the origin. And then if they do a flashback show,
and I thought
she's
they
his
did
nurse,
film
that whole thing.
And I
that's
thought they,
awesome.
And I thought they did film some scenes like that. But then they're also going to tie that into the Joker dumping her in the Vada toxic whatever.
Yeah.
Which I don't like. I mean, I like the fact that in the cartoon when
she
Harley
was just crazy and obsessed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, didn't she have like a PhD?
Yes.
And she just kind of like
she was Dr. Quinn.
Yeah.
Medicine woman.
Yes. My mom loves that. Mom, guess what? She turns into Harley Quinn, and she's the Joker's friend. Yeah.
That's what happens after she does her thing with the jewelry store. She goes crazy. Ah!
If you watch Dr. Quinn and know that she turns into Harley Quinn, it's a much better show.
That would be amazing.
All of a sudden, she just turns in and goes crazy in the Wild West.
That's what they should like. Edit in a flashback of Dr. Quinn when it's doing her origin story, and you're like, oh.
We need somebody to make that trailer right now of the Harley Quinn story where you get episodes of Dr. Quinn and then you splice in Margot Robbie.
Israel, if you're watching, Israel is our video.
Yeah.
Israel, if you're watching, I want you to take that Suicide Squad trailer and at that moment of origin, put in a clip of Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman. That would be amazing.
What?
I'm for it. I think that'd be hilarious.
That'd be great.
Nothing is sacred.
So, Scott, what did you think?
I haven't actually seen it, but I've seen the people.
You are Edward tonight.
I've seen the people on
I
Tumblr
can't watch
tearing it
it.
apart.
Okay.
Because they're they don't like how
the Harley Quinn thing
is acting.
Yeah.
I saw the comment about she's joking about the voices in her head, and they're tearing that apart, saying she's not schizophrenic, she has Stockholm syndrome, and that kind of thing.
Which is true.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if it's a case of, because trailers aren't made by the director; they're made by the studio to sell the movie.
Right.
So they'll pull things out of context.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering
and
if
they're
that's
going for the crazy Harley Quinn. Like, she is the Joker of this movie, even though Joker's in it. And they're making it look like Joker's in it a lot. Joker is not in this a lot. Didn't they say he's only got like 5 minutes screen time or something in the beforehand?
I don't know, because Batman's in it too, and I think
he's got one scene. He's got two scenes. One where he's Batman and he's riding on top of a car fighting Joker, and then they go off, and that becomes the next movie. And one where he's Bruce Wayne and he watches her crazy drive off. And he's like,
that's I thought that was more of a prequel part with Harley Quinn and Joker in the car with Batman on top, not a.
No, I think that's
not a tease into the next movie.
Oh, I don't know. I just made that up. I don't care.
You make up a lot of stuff.
I thought it looked fun. I liked the logo was awesome. I thought with the colors and everything, it just seemed cool to me.
Doesn't Tom Hardy look amazing though? Tom Hardy just looks. He's like Mad Max.
Yes.
In a different movie, just like.
Wait, Tom Hardy's not in this movie.
That's who he's in the movie, isn't he?
No, he's not.
No,
Who is that? Who's the guy that looks like Tom Hardy then? Sorry.
Well, you got Joel Kinnaman.
Are you talking Joel Kinnaman?
Yeah.
That's who I was thinking of too.
Sorry, he has that look of.
You know
he's
who
like
he is?
Mad Max.
Because he was supposed to be Tom Hardy.
Right. It was supposed to be. That's excuse me for the.
Joel Kinnaman is number one.
So
He was Stephen Holder on The Killing, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's who it is.
And his performance in The Killing is amazing.
Pardon me.
But he was also RoboCop, which you hated. But I like him in that movie. I just didn't think the movie was that great.
Yeah, the movie wasn't good.
The remake.
But here's another thing about this movie that Steve from the League of Geeks podcast, when we were talking about it.
Shout out to Steve.
Over the last
He doesn't
several
watch
weeks.
this, does he?
I don't know. He's in Cali right now. He's probably with his kids. It's 4:00 over there.
Priorities, Steve.
But Scott Eastwood's in this. And he still hasn't been named as a character, like a full-fledged character. Like, nobody knows who he's playing. So there's rumors flying. I'm calling it out. We started it first. We were talking about this for a while.
Here it
now
goes.
all of a sudden, comicbook.com and all these things are reporting that this could be happening. We said that it would be awesome if he was playing Nightwing.
Yes.
Because they've already
That'd be
established in Batman v Superman the Jason Todd storyline. So what if he's in there playing Nightwing, kind of watching over the Suicide Squad, making sure everything's all right, and then we're getting Nightwing pulled into this?
That sounds awesome.
That does.
The Nightwing thing is the right direction. Watch it be something.
He'd be great as
Watch it be something
Nightwing.
dumb, though.
Yeah,
because
he's just Joe Schmo military guy.
They're gonna be like,
The new Amanda Waller.
Oh, but wait.
He's Amanda Waller.
In the next movie,
He just rips his mask off, and
it's a red herring that it's what's her name? It's Wanda Sykes or whoever it is. She's gonna pull up the mask, and it's
Wanda
Clint Eastwood. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Choke on my drink. It's not Wanda Sykes.
What are you talking about?
I think she should be Amanda Waller. That'd be awesome.
That would be great.
No, they got what's her face. A really good actress.
Wanda Sykes.
No. I'm trying to blank on her name.
Who's a
you know
TA?
who it was? At
It's
one
a girl
point
who
it was Oprah.
does everything.
Oprah was
No way.
almost yes.
How to
Oprah
Get Away
was
with
almost
Murder.
Amanda
What's
Waller.
her name?
Yes,
I can't think of her name.
It's how to marry a murderer or whatever.
No,
How to Get Away with Murder.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, she.
Oh man,
You're the.
You just totally threw me off calling her Wanda Sykes. That's just terrible.
Sorry, man. That's what I do.
That's
It's how
bad.
I roll over here. So yeah, I dropped the bomb on that one. I liked it. I think it looks fun. It gives me a ray of hope for more DC stuff because I'm telling you, Batman v Superman, there are parts I think look cool, and then there's something about it that is off. The Wonder Woman trailer, did you guys watch that? Or the teaser?
Yes.
That gave me good feels. I thought that looked cool. And then I watched that bit from Batman v Superman again, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a lot of junk. I don't know, man.
Let's see.
That
what
would be
happens.
crazy if Batman v Superman was like the weakest link out of this.
But that
DC.
might be.
Well, is it?
It
is
might
it
be
gonna,
because it's so early in the thing.
And it's Zack Snyder
Viola Davis.
just
God.
piling stuff on.
and nothing like an Oscar
Yeah.
winner or anything like that. To
Yeah,
name
exactly.
it.
to Rob Call.
Who's this guy? Tom Hanks? Who?
Wanda Sykes.
So yeah, I thought the Wonder Woman thing looked cool. I wish that we saw a trailer. I don't like this, like, we're going to show little bits of footage and little
but
teasers. Just show me a trailer. Show me even a teaser trailer that's constructed rather than showing, Kevin Smith and Jeff Johns going, Wonder Woman's this and this.
Yeah,
It was
that
so
whole thing
set
was
up.
very.
It was so set up.
Oh, yeah.
I love Kevin Smith, but
Give
man,
us
like
the
he
trailer,
was just
and we'll
like
tell
the whole
you what
time.
we
He was
think.
like,
He's bucking for his
DC.
daughter to get in the movie.
Oh,
I'm sure.
please.
He's got to be.
he got the prop.
Yeah, he bought
Harley
the
Quinn
bat.
Yeah,
He got the
for her.
bat from that Wanda
that's
Sykes
good.
uses in the movie.
Come on, she's. I mean, she's named after it, and what are
Right.
you gonna do? But
Right.
It's Kevin Smith.
Right. So, is anyone else out there excited about this? It's a very quiet crowd. Lots of smiling. My mom doesn't care, folks. My mom just doesn't care.
She'll say yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So.
Now, Joel Kinnaman is playing, what's his name in it, right? Rip Hunter?
Rick Flag.
Yes. And I don't know.
Why do I know more of this than you? And I don't read DC at all.
You know what? Because
What's DC?
I am host of the Nuff Said podcast. I know Marvel stuff.
I'm on that too.
Oh,
I know
yeah,
Marvel
you're
stuff.
secondary. You know. You were invited in as a pity invite. Not because we needed somebody who actually knew something.
Because he
on the
pitied
show.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
I pitied you.
I'm like, great show, guys.
You know what's funny? When we ask Lil to be on, I really think it was because Jack and I are like, man, we don't know anything about Marvel. We need somebody who can help us out here.
Hey.
This guy seems to know something. And you know what? He's probably wrong too, but
Sometimes.
he knows more than we are.
You know,
You know
Mark,
what? I get
Mark
a lot
my
of-
I
words.
forgot to bring up last week on our Enough Said show that comicbook.com also stole when we were talking about who Ward was going to be. Now I forgot the character's name.
Comicbook.com ripping us off.
I was just like, what is going on? Like, because I predicted it. Like, now that he's got this alien news on him, that he's going to be. I forgot the character's name. He looks like the squid from Pirates.
Right. I can't think of his name.
But whatever. So
I'm moving right ahead.
yeah.
Oh, wait, I got one more.
I got one more for DC.
One more for DC because I got one for
more?
Marvel.
Okay, so DC also with all that stuff that came out that night, Kevin Smith was talking with everybody on his Fat Man on Batman podcast. They left the door open for a giant multiverse movie with the TV and
That
movie.
would be the way to go. We
Where-
said this on this show.
We did say that on the show.
Were you here then?
No.
Oh. Where's your commitment, Scott?
Which
gonna get a Scott puppet for the rest of the time.
all the people who hate that Ezra Miller is the Flash, we might get him and Grant Gustin
That
in
is
the
the
same
way
movie
to go.
with the Flash together.
And that's exactly what we said should happen. If you treat it as a multiverse, suddenly all these things that are making us uncomfortable, like this is dumb, make sense and work.
Yeah.
And you know what? You have Ezra Miller come through the portal on the show for even for a 5-minute cameo.
For a hey, how you
Game
doing, folks?
is over. Then it's like,
Well,
ooh,
imagine the portal
boy.
opens, you see him, and then he flashes away.
That
And
would work too.
That's all you need. It'd be like everybody
Instead,
go.
this is DC. They're going to screw it up. It's going to be a little flashing. Ah!
Who
flasher.
doesn't want to see that?
America?
How many
America's
people are in
voted.
the world? Minus a couple.
There's a lot.
Come on. Many. So
All right,
That's some multiverse.
What Marvel
You,
news do you
you,
have?
Did
you
we-
totally killed the show.
Yeah, that's Earth.
Once
what?
again.
Earth 60. A little gross.
Earth 2 Alil is amazing. He is very successful and good looking. That's what I hear.
He looks like that guy from.
He looks like Chris Evans, according to everybody else.
Oh, I thought he looked like the guy in Neighbors.
Is that 'cause you posted
Zac
it?
Efron?
Yeah. Earth 2 Alil looks like
Did you
Zac
post
Efron.
it as your avatar? Is a picture of Chris Evans?
I should.
That's what he looks like.
I saw the Earth 2 action figures today at the store. I was going to take a snapshot and then throw a picture of my face on top of it. I was.
You were looking at it?
Why don't you send it to me? You know, I'll make a meme.
Oh, I don't want you making memes of anything.
I make memes that we can't share with the public.
That's right.
Just
No.
for a lil.
Yeah, it's bad.
So, all right. So let me.
It's
I'm
not
going to
good.
monopolize just one more second.
I doubt that.
I've got a Marvel one. No, I'm
Why?
going to step back then. Marvel, speaking of things we got right, I'm going to take another victory lap here. Did you see who
They happened once.
the rumor is going to be a player in Guardians 2?
No.
Ego, the living planet.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
We talked about this on Nuff Said, and we're like, that's going to be Ego. And Ego. What are the odds that Ego would be the character that they'd bring in there? And we talked about it there.
We did. We thought that the planet that they were on was Ego.
Right.
Which is not, but that's you know what's funny? Because I look back at...
Do we know it's not?
I don't think it is. I mean...
But the landscape works. It works. It's just we could be on the backside of Ego.
Sure. But the funny thing is with when they announced that, and I started thinking back because I watch all the cartoons on Disney XD, they brought in Ego a few times. Like Ego was in the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon. Ego was, I believe, in the Hulk and the Agents of Smash cartoon. So it's like they've kind of
Right, they
like,
brought
hey,
this
kids,
character around.
You should know who this person is because we're bringing them out for you.
Right.
So I'm
Right.
I think they're doing a good job
I like to
setting
think
it
it's
up.
us. I like to think it's us.
it's
Somebody's
us.
listening.
It's us.
Stan Lee's listening, and every time we say something, he goes, Excelsior. I wish I could see their show, but my eyesight's going. Didn't that happen last week?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Poor
We got a tweet from Stan.
Poor
So,
Stan. All right.
Yes,
The
it
fake
is
So
Stan.
who has one? Scott, you've been silent. Chris, you got one?
I do.
I was.
So Adam Driver was on Saturday Night Live last
Yes.
weekend,
Oh.
and they did
That was-
the greatest episode, the greatest skit I've seen. They did Kylo Ren undercover boss,
Yes.
and it was
that was
absolutely
amazing. You guys see it?
fantastic.
That was amazing.
It was great.
I was dying on that one. And you know what?
Sorry, I killed your brother or your son,
Sorry, I killed-
Kylo Ren. It's like a rainbow.
Out of
rainbow.
rain, well, after the rain comes a rainbow. It was
Did you
Well,
see
did
that
you-
they had outtakes too? It was pretty funny.
no.
Oh, I haven't seen
The,
that.
the outtakes were pretty good. If you go on the Saturday Night Live YouTube site, and they're just laughing, and it's hilarious.
The other thing was, I don't know if you saw this on Facebook, but somebody's already got custom figures.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Of Kylo Ren. Oh
Matt
my
Radar
God!
Matt,
technician.
undercover
How
boss.
bad do you want that?
That is
like,
awesome.
A lot of times you see the custom figures and you're like, yeah, okay, it's fun or whatever. This one I'm like, oh yeah, if they're not putting it out, I need to buy this custom figure from somebody.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's so funny.
It was great. I mean, how they get those guests and they're either hit or miss. This was a total hit with him. He was really, really funny. He was really good. He's a little awkward, which is kind of fits in with him playing Kylo Ren. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I like when the guy's like, we totally know you're Kylo.
Yeah. Kylo Ren.
90% sure Matt is Kylo Ren.
I'm 99% sure. But then he says it to
That sucks.
I'm Kylo Ren. Yeah, we knew that.
That's right.
Like,
We did know that. Too.
Duh. Like when you threw the guy into the vending machine, we kind of knew.
Yeah. Because when you put me into the vending machine, and did you see there was like an acoustic Yub Nub song that's
Yes.
been going around?
I've got that on my notes now. The
You're
guy
very
put it on-
happy.
his name is Pudge. Did you listen to it?
I did.
Yes.
It's amazing.
That was. And it had subtitles for
Yes.
the
Yeah.
translation.
Well, you kind of have to.
Yeah, because I'd never been able to parse out the Ewok language over the years, but that was enlightening.
You tried to parse out the Ewok language?
I just couldn't make it out. Is it here? All you hear is Yub-Nub and
Little stormtrooper head.
Boy, are you a
drums.
dork.
It's great. It's fantastic. So,
That's why you're up here, Scott.
and since we're running in the Star Wars realm, they backed off Episode 8 to December instead of what was it, July?
Yeah,
so it's a few months. I think they're I don't want to say scrambling, but I think they're kind of.
I don't think so.
Well, here's.
I think they were doing it too quickly. I think it's smart to do this.
Well, I mean, it was 18 months right after to keep the cast going and keep filming. I don't think it would have been too bad, but they weren't ready for some of the popularity in the lower tier characters like Poe. I even think Finn's popularity from the movie kind of took off.
Right.
But also on top of that, they broke all these huge records for Christmas.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And now it's like, let's
Christmas.
keep December going.
Sure.
And now with Rogue One coming out the following December.
Is Rogue One this December?
Yes.
Rogue
2016.
One's this one.
Yes, we're getting another Star Wars movie
once
this
a
year.
Yeah, at least 3 Christmases in a row.
Every Christmas we get a present from.
That is a present to us.
From Disney.
That is.
Because there's nobody filling the void. I mean, if it was up against like Harry Potter or something, I think they might not back off, but I think it would be.
I don't think
they would space it out.
Right. Well, I think that they would, but now there's nothing.
They're
There's
going
a
to
void.
But here's the other
keep
thing
it on December and own December.
Well, they're taking it. Yeah.
But here's the other thing that makes a lot of sense. They have it coming out the same month as Guardians 2.
Right.
So basically,
Why
they're
would you do
beating
that?
each other down. I mean, it's
Right.
two space movies, Disney, Marvel, Lucas,
Right.
Disney, Marvel, and it's just like, why would you have it
And
come
what's
out
going to
weeks
happen
after
is
each
if
other?
Guardians 2 has legs and then Star Wars comes out, it's going to stop it from moving.
Right.
Yeah.
So, space them out a little bit. This is a good plan.
Right.
We
And
have to
then with
separate
this, they move Spider-Man. Spider-Man
Spider-Man
now
got shuffled a little bit.
Yeah, now it moves closer. Comes out.
Sony did it, but Sony is playing ball with Marvel. So
It's a Marvel release date. It was
right.
Pirates of the Caribbean was supposed to have that weekend.
Now, Pirates got a new date though, right?
Not officially yet.
See, there was something I read today that had new dates, and I think
Avatar 2 is.
Avatar 2
bumped.
got bumped.
Yeah.
That was supposed to come out December of 2017.
The same,
Right.
the same as
Yeah,
Star
I
Wars.
think they just
bumped it.
ran. They're like, no.
Yeah,
get
no.
away.
Yeah, you like something.
We're not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, something I've seen online in the past couple of weeks is name a quote or say a quote from Avatar. Name 2 characters from
Avatar. Blue
Sigourney
Girl.
Weaver and Blue Guy.
Yeah, I mean,
Blue Man.
Wheelchair Boy.
It was this biggest movie, but it had no cultural impact.
None.
None.
No, it's Dancing.
I remember there were
People.
like the blue, the blue sexy aliens, and then there was
Oh,
Sigourney Weaver turned
sexy.
into a tree.
All right, Captain Kirk.
That's
Blue
it.
sexy aliens.
The Navi. I remember that. It's the Navi.
The Navi, yeah,
The
and then
tree.
Sigourney Weaver turned into a tree.
Yeah. And they're not, when they release the episode 2 or whatever they're calling it, Avatar 2, they've already said they're doing 4. So there's going to be 2, 3, 4, like right in a row.
Right.
So they got to pick their release date properly because if they put it up against a Marvel movie, now a DC movie, and or a Star Wars movie, and Harry Potter is coming back into the fold.
Right.
Because Fantastic Beasts looks so good, and if you are too close to that, you're in trouble. No wonder Terminator got the axe this
Oh,
week.
yeah.
I mean, where are they going to put that?
Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, number 1, it was horrible. Number 2,
But if they don't have a property that's super strong, where are they going to put
yeah.
it? They can't build from what they had unless they completely step aside.
September, put it where movies die.
That's right. Yup, nub.
It used to be February. Now
No.
Deadpool will rule the world.
Yes. Wow.
Yes.
I'm
my
worried
mom
about
is
this.
excited.
They're already estimating 60 million opening for Deadpool in February, which is
I'm worried about
crazy.
Deadpool, though, about it having the effect that, like the snakes on a plane, because that was a massive internet thing.
Yes.
And then the movie
This looks
came
like
out
a better
and it
movie than
kinda
Snakes on a
did
Plane.
go. Yeah, I mean, it's
But
going to be a
it's
better story.
R-rated and it's a hard R. It's not going to have long legs. It's going to make a lot of money for about 2 weeks, and then it's going to disappear, and then it'll do well on video.
Right.
Yeah.
If it does what it does opening weekend, what they're projecting, it's the 60 million mark. It's made its budget and then some at that point. And then it's going to, the next week is cake, and it'll be gravy for a few more weeks, and then Blu-ray sales come out.
Right.
All they need to do on this one is make it viable. They don't. I don't think. I mean, if it's a huge hit, that's good.
Yeah, they're
if
going to
it's,
make
if
their
it's
money
viable.
back
If they
probably
can,
in the first weekend.
If they can do it with the off characters, they're going to be making money hand over fist. Because
they have gotten Colossus right on this one, too.
Yeah.
It looks great.
Colossus looks amazing.
I mean, this doesn't have to be a home run by any stretch of the means because they just need to feed the beast and keep the fires burning. So it's right there. So
which verse is it in? Fox owns it. So
He's
is
in
it
Fox. Yeah, he's in
X-Men.
Is it in the same
Fantastic
X-Men?
Four.
Yeah, actually, they said that that the Gambit movie and the Deadpool movie you will see some connective tissue to the fallout in what happens in X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay.
Because I believe Deadpool is based in the 90s.
Okay.
So
whatever happens in
right.
Apocalypse will have an effect here or... Okay.
Yeah, you'll see something here. I mean, that's the reason why Colossus and all this stuff is going on here without the official X-Men being involved.
Right. Right. Okay. Yeah, the smartest thing they could do at this point, because they really mishandled Fantastic Four, is work it out with Marvel for Fantastic Four, build their universe that's the harder, grittier Marvel with X-Men. The X-Men movies can be awesome. They're not all awesome, but when they're awesome, they're really good.
They are.
And if they keep the X-Men kind of in that PG-13 zone and then have their R-rated like Deadpool and that I'm okay with that. I do think they're losing some audience. I think they're making a mistake by making a hard R and not having. I think they'd have been smarter putting a PG-13 version out and then a director's cut that's the hard R. I really do. I know you don't. Yeah, a little disagrees. We talked about this Enough Said this week, and he makes a great point. Surprisingly, he says if they do that, they're going to make one of them crappy or both of them crappy. So just go for the gusto and make it a hard R.
If you're trying to play the gray area, then nothing's ever going to come out well.
No, but I agree. You need to commit to a path and go for it.
But prepubescent Edward can't see this Deadpool.
Well,
this Edward can't.
Didn't there used to be a thing where they would make PG cuts of our movies?
Yeah,
that's
and then they showed on TV.
That's called hardcore and softcore pornography.
No, they showed on TV. Like remember when they showed Blues Brothers on TV?
It was 23 minutes long.
It took all the language out,
right?
And then it would add. So like my favorite part in that was when Aretha Franklin, she says blank in her scene, like, oh, well, blank. They changed it to, oh, shoot. Just like they didn't really stretch it out.
Well,
shingles.
Edward's going to get to see it when it gets on FXX, and that'll be, the cut version.
Right. There you go. And then Edward can see it. But they're not making any money off of Edward.
I like the internet trolls.
You know what they are, though, because they're gonna play it on FXX all the time. So it's going to get, I mean, I know it's still owned by Fox and that.
Right.
They're not getting it with the...
Unless they sell a PG-13 version, they're not getting the video or the movie ticket money out of those guys.
Right.
They just aren't.
But
that's a huge market for that.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I'm telling you.
I'd see Avengers.
Let's see. If I was Edward's age, I've
15.
seen enough R movies in my lifetime before his age. And
well, yeah, but the kids are different now. They are.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Like he won't go.
You don't think they're not sneaking in, like buying tickets for the
what?
other movie and sneaking
in?
No,
we were talking about that where kids won't do it because they think I hate to say they have a little bit moral compass. Than we do. When I was Edward's age, I watched whatever I wanted. I mean, I remember being a kid and walking into Death Race 2000, which was X at the time. X. Wow. And I just walked in and they're like, you shouldn't be here. But it was graphic. There was graphic nudity. And,
Evil Dead was that. And I remember watching the video when it was X-rated on the video cassette.
Yeah, well,
I know it's not, but
right.
But that's how they did it back then. So I mean, they're kids that are not doing that. So
did you guys watch Legends of Tomorrow? Did you watch the pilot?
I did not. I'm planning on watching it tonight.
I wanted to bring it up because it was big news this week, and it had them win the night and everything. I watched it last night. It's good. I liked it. I like the Flash a lot. I've liked Arrow. I'm not like it's not like Daredevil. Daredevil I was amazed by, and I think Daredevil was so good that it took the shine off of some of this stuff. Although Flash is close. Flash is a great show. This doesn't quite have the Flash thing going for it in episode 1, but I thought it was big geek news this week. I think it is a cool show. It is very much of a comic book show.
Right.
Like more, I know these are all comic book shows, but this is like a comic book. And
Jessica Jones was very much,
and Arthur Darvill is playing Rip Torn or whatever his name is, and the one that Joel Kinnaman's playing.
Yes.
And he comes out and
He's atrocious, isn't he? Awful.
He throws confetti at everybody. Love.
Hello.
Hello.
Does he have the bad mustache?
Hello, Batman. Woo. Anyway.
Hello.
He is.
Are you unfollowing us?
Excellent.
Yes, I'm unfollowing us on Twitter.
Unfollow us?
I just unfollowed us on Twitter.
You know what? Did you know we have a Twitter account now?
Yeah, because somebody just tweeted me from the Twitter account, so
Bam!
I just saw it pop up.
We have a Twitter account.
You guys,
hey, we have a Twitter account now. It's at SMG_TWIG. So SMG.
Let's
TWIG.
make that easy for everybody to
You know
follow.
what?
Holy cow.
There were like 90 This Week in Geeks, and they all were terrible. I was looking through all of them, like none of them are worth watching.
Look, I pull up Twitter. First one, Matt.
Nice.
It's awesome.
So yeah, we're gonna start putting
Matt.
stuff on there. I'll give you guys the password. So
Radar
we can
technician.
all put stuff on there.
That's great.
Even you, post-pubescent Edward.
Rated R, Edward. Edward R. Edward R.
Edward with a capital R.
Rated R, Edward.
Not Republican.
Oh no!
Rated R.
So since Edward Puppet wasn't here, Rated R Edward showed up.
Israel, if you're watching, I need a face morph of Edward.
Yes.
Please.
It's a rated
we'll
R
get a good
Edward.
shot.
It's like,
Yes.
You don't have your headphones.
And then
so
back.
You need to have the headphones, and they could totally morph. It would be great.
So what else happened? Kate
Blanchett, who she is officially cast as in Thor Ragnarok. She
is
will
she,
be
Thor?
Gila.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
I did read that.
Yeah, so she's going to be Gila,
Yes.
who is basically death.
Yes.
And they're saying here
Wait a minute.
that this ties in perfectly
Spoilers.
with Guardians because Thanos courts
and death.
death.
Right.
Yes.
And who better to be that than Kate
She's
Blanchett? I mean,
fa-
it's perfect.
Kate Blanchett is
it would make sense that like
perfect.
he's
She was-
after her. He's like,
Right.
hey, look at that.
Well, I mean, and her whole Galadriel character
look at that.
from
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings would be perfect for that. I mean, it's like, hey, let's play that same character in another universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Would be perfect. Which
Or
is
tie
great.
it in.
So
Yeah.
and some of the spoiler here with this is like that she destroys Mjolnir.
Yeah,
in the
right.
Movie.
So
What?
Like
Mjolnir is not making it through Ragnarok.
I was like, well, there's a death in Ragnarok and it's Mjolnir. And everybody's like,
Kill
it's like,
everybody else.
no.
Yes. Take
Yeah.
Odin. Yeah, let's get out of here.
And then Mark Ruffalo called it like a Universal Road movie.
right. Did you read that?
I was like,
he is
I hope
so
that's
fantastic. I mean, does he do anything bad?
Mark Ruffalo?
No, he's fantastic.
He is so great.
outside
Did you guys-
outside the Hulk, my favorite role for him is in 13 Going on 30. I
Yeah.
love him.
Oh yeah, he was great in that movie. That was
Actually,
great.
speaking of like him as an actor, I mean he's awesome and everything, but as an actor, did you guys see Foxcatcher?
Oh yeah.
First of all, what the hell was that?
Yeah.
But second of all, Mark Ruffalo in that movie was astounding.
Right.
Like the way he walked and everything. He was that guy. You know the glasses he wore in that? It's based on a true story, okay? The glasses he wore were the real guy's glasses. The guy's wife gave him those glasses for the performance.
That's
So those
spooky,
big,
but great,
goofy,
yes.
Harry Carey glasses,
Yeah.
those were the real ones. But Foxcatcher, if you haven't seen it, it's not a feel-good.
No.
Not a feel-good. But, boy, like,
yeah.
it's fantastic. Mark Ruffalo is amazing. And what's his name? Your guy, Magic Mike, is really good in it.
Channing Tatum.
Oh
Yeah.
You know what? He is so good. People rail
How
on
is
him.
he my guy?
Because you're all Magic
Well,
Mike'd up.
you like to dance around like he does.
I do. I do. I have abs just like him under here somewhere.
It's just covered by stuff. That's
Under-
what I tell
under a
people.
foot
That's-
of fat.
That's what I tell
There's-
people. It's underneath. It's great. I'm a really strong guy. I'm
You know,
cut.
if me and Channing Tatum were standing next to each other, you couldn't tell us apart. That's why I grew the facial beard because I didn't want.
That's because
I
you're
was sick of
eclipsing
people
him and they
saying
can't tell that there's two people there.
Is this shades of Chris Farley and
the
the
Patrick
Blooming
Swayze.
Patrick
Patrick
Swayze?
Swayze.
Yeah.
This-
Chipping.
the Chippendales?
That might be the second best Saturday Night Live
You know
skit,
what?
right, by the way. so.
Israel, if you're listening, you need to film. You need to take the Magic Mike thing and splice it with a little dancing
You
right
could
next
be,
to him.
You could be the dude
That
from
would
True
be
Blood.
amazing.
Joseph, that's who you could be.
Whatever. He was Flash Thompson in the original
Yeah.
Spider-Man trilogy.
Joseph
Joe
Magnola?
Magnola.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got one.
Are you dropping the other bomb?
No.
Okay.
I'm
Why
dropping
not?
one that I'm excited about because I don't think people are aware of this, but this month, HBO is airing the Godfather epic.
Ooh.
If you don't know what this is,
It's
they took Godfather 1 and Godfather 2, and it was spliced together chronologically. And they released it as a videotape. I don't know if it ever came out in theaters that way.
It was originally made for TV.
It was made for TV, and my friend had
Seriously?
the videotape.
Yes.
It is.
Never heard of it.
It's astoundingly
This is the
good.
difference. This is with director's cuts.
Yes,
so it's
it's all
it's
there.
like deleted scenes and extra
It's
stuff.
like 7.5 hours or something.
They did
It's
the
two movies.
But what about Godfather 3?
No, they
watch
stopped
that
at 2. No, they literally say it's the first up until 3.
Right.
It's like the first 25 years or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was actually reading somebody had scanned the TV guide from the 70s.
Okay.
Talking about this, I was reading this the other day. During filming of Apocalypse Now, they were on break because of the storms or whatever,
Sure.
and Coppola needed cash. So they came up with this idea of recutting The Godfather
Really?
for the TV
So
broadcast.
that's why this
So
happened.
it was a 3-night event.
Did he need cash for the movie, or did he
For
just
Apocalypse
like
Now.
pocket cash, like walking around Coppola's like, man, I want to buy that hot toy.
They're in the film. They're in Singapore. I don't think it's Hot Toys.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what they called it back then.
Yes.
Yeah, so they. I mean, this went into in depth about having like
The different
stacks
hot
of
dog?
tapes of editing
Yeah.
all these things together, and he was working with his editor back in New York, and
Wow, I
Coppola's
didn't-
in
I didn't hear any of
wherever
this.
they
This is
filmed
awesome.
Apocalypse Now, and they're telexing each
Singapore,
other.
right?
So this is the 70s, so they're
Right.
telexing
Yes.
each
Right.
other.
I'm still in the
And,
story tonight.
to put all these notes together, and that's what they came up with, and adding in all these other scenes.
Well,
Is that why Martin Sheen had a meltdown? Too much talk about
Too much Godfather talk.
too much Godfather.
My,
talk.
my friend had the videotapes, and we watched it once. And
Well, see,
Holy cow.
hold on. The videotape
Holy cow.
is different. They did one with the movies where they cut it into chronological, but without the extra scenes.
Yeah.
And that was what was out like 15 or 20 years ago.
Okay, so this is-
so they did it, and they
this
called
has
it
the extra scenes.
They called it something. This is with extra scenes, and I watched the first half of it. Like I watched the first 3.5 hours last Sunday.
Oh, you
my-
did?
It was amazing.
I can't wait
And
to watch
There
this.
was so much more from.
You know what?
the-
Show's
the-
over. I'm going to
yeah.
watch it right now.
There was so much more from the early years about how him and Clemenza, they all get together and what he does. It
and
was
that stuff is
It was
amazing.
fantastic. So
Is this how? What did you say? It was on HBO.
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 It's what is it? 7.5 hours or something? It's like
if
crazy.
you don't have HBO, get free HBO for the month. Watch that, and then you can binge some Game of Thrones, and you're all good. All worth it. Or The
There-
Wire is on there too.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Or all of them are.
Like all of it. Yeah. It's all good.
Entourage. No, I'm teasing. So that
Some
was,
of it.
No, that was really good. And you know what? You go back to those movies. It's unbelievable that how good the first one was, and the sequel is
second-
better.
I know.
and
How-
it's just like, how did you do that?
But then if
that never
you
happens,
watch
almost never happens.
where it's spliced together and it's
Right.
chronological, it doesn't seem uneven. It
No.
just seems like even better.
Well, he had the vision. He knew it. I mean, with
Yeah.
the books and everything, he said this is the way it's going to be. He shot them both exactly the same way. It was amazing.
So
Yeah, that was actually what they called it for the original airing. They called it the complete novel for television. That was
Okay.
how they sold that.
well,
'Cause there's
I wanted
parts
to
of
bring it
three
up.
that-
I'm down with it.
There's parts of 3 that aren't bad. It's not as because of
No,
because of the
it's not
because of the
bad.
time difference. They had to change it. It was just a different political climate, but it's still pretty good.
Yes.
Without
It's not
Yeah.
as good, and that's where it falls flat. If you watch it as a singular movie, it's
It's
actually pretty
decent.
good.
Yeah.
Well,
but if you watch
right.
it after you've watched 1 and 2, it's like, oh, nuts.
you're comparing that movie to arguably 2 of the best 10 movies ever made.
Right.
It's the same. It's
Yeah.
Right.
the original and the sequel are 2 of the best. The
It was
10
like
best.
2010
Exactly.
to 2001.
Right.
I love 2010.
I did too,
Yeah.
but it's not
it's not
2001.
no.
All right. Who's got one?
Mick G. Do you guys know who Mick G is?
Think we've heard of him. Think we've talked about him on here.
He's in talks to direct the reboot for Masters of the Universe.
Yes. And he's the right
He-Man.
guy for
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that'd be fun.
Are the Winchesters going to be in it? That would be great.
The Winchesters.
That would be great. That would be
That would
awesome.
be good.
Be awesome.
Jared Padalecki, that would be great if they were in it.
Live action, I'm guessing, of course.
Yeah,
Oh,
of
yeah,
course,
live
yeah.
action.
Yeah.
Except without that
Cameo by
stupid
Dolph Lundgren.
musical thing. Oh, it would be awful.
That,
Oh,
you know,
I,
like-
awful.
no,
That
I
was
want
atrocious.
Dolph Lundgren to
Oh, yeah.
cameo in it. Like, he has to be in this movie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
somewhere.
And Sam.
He can, you
And
know
you know
what?
that-
He can even
and-
play. You know what he should do? Play He-Man's dad, like King
Oh, yeah?
Randor, right? Oh, my
Perfect.
God.
You know who
Yes, I know
had-
the names because I was a He-Man
Channing
guy.
Tatum with blonde hair could be.
Oh.
Get that bowl cut. Channing Tatum, he's just like.
With the bowl cut.
And then he starts dancing on a pole.
That'd be great.
Battle Cat's walking around him, and he's just like.
Oh. So in the original movie, the guy that sells him that music or that has the musical instrument, that's Ernie Douglas from My Three Sons. Same actor. So do you think he'll make a return? Is he alive? I don't care.
Know. He has to.
We're not even going to my mom for that one.
But I'm excited. I like He-Man. I even have watched the Dolph Lundgren one. I own it.
It's
terrible.
It's not horrid. It's not good.
No,
you know what?
It's
bad,
horrid.
No, it's
You know what the funny is? Like the behind the scenes to that movie is just crazy. Like the producers.
Wait, is there
came
behind
in,
the scenes on the DVD?
No, but it's just like the story behind the movie. I wish
was so
there was.
excited. I thought there was like
because you know
documentary about it. I'd be all about
we
it.
were really
there's
messed up and just
there's a little
videotaped
bit out on the Electric Boogaloo documentary. They talk about this.
They talk about the He-Man one?
Wow.
Ooh, I'm going to have to watch it.
Some of the things is the best is like when because Sylvester Stallone like signed with Canon Films to do like a lot of his other movies outside of Rocky and Rambo. And when he found out that Lundgren, yes, it was over the top that they did with Canon. When he found out that they got Lundgren in this, and he's like, they gave him lines. It was because it was after Rocky 4. It was like he couldn't speak.
And then he saw it and went, really? They gave him lines?
But so so they were filming three quarters of the way done filming the movie. $40 million they spent on this movie,
and they realized it made no sense.
And no, like the producers came in because like they ran out of money and just shut it down. And there was no ending. It was like, it was like this giant battle scene, and then he calls cut. So that's why you see like this weird ending where it's just Frank Langella and Dolph Lundgren fighting.
Right.
And that's because I think it was like 3-4 months later, he got him back, and he's like, just go here and fight. We're gonna do this. No practicing, and there was just like all these weird That's why like a lot of it was in black and in shadow and stuff.
That's awesome. Is that on that documentary?
Not that part. That was part of my research when we reviewed the movie.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
Good times. Good times.
Did you hear this? Two guys that I love, Steve Coogan and John C. Reilly, are playing. I know, right when you hear that, you're like, I want those two guys in a movie. They're doing a biopic of Laurel and Hardy with those two guys. Now, don't do it as the Three Stooges thing. Make it an actual biopic. These guys can both act, but they're both really funny. I think they're perfect. I'm excited for that.
See, you know what? I think they're great, but can either of them carry a film? And I don't know.
John C. Reilly absolutely can.
I don't know about that.
Absolutely.
I'm with you.
I think he's okay.
I love
really
John C. Reilly, but if you look at the ones that he has kind of been the lead star in them, they've really fallen flat.
Okay.
Was it Walk Hard?
Yeah, but that's a comedy. Now, watch Hard 8. Watch Hard 8. He's excellent in Hard 8. He has a minor role in Boogie Nights, but he is
amazing.
Yeah, but
he's
not carrying the film.
But he's exceptional. His acting is there.
Hard
8, he is carrying the film,
right.
And he is so good in Hard 8.
He's got that terrible vampire movie.
Yeah. Oh, God,
that one's really bad.
That's atrocious.
So I don't know. Maybe you guys aren't into it. I like both those guys, and I'm
not saying it's not bad.
I mean, Coogan's
amazing.
Amazing. So
did you ever see Hamlet 2?
I did not.
It's an indie film that he made where he is putting on a production of Hamlet that he writes called Hamlet 2. And it's an awful production, as you can imagine.
Is that like where he's like a high school teacher doing that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
And when I first started watching it, at first I'm like, I don't know about this movie. By the end, I'm like, this is the best movie. Because of him. And his performance is killer in it.
In Tropic Thunder, he's probably the best.
For 2 seconds.
Best role. He's 2 seconds
Boom.
in there. Blow your head up. That's it. We're done.
Spoiler, he blows
you.
up. Now, you guys know they're making a Jumanji remake?
Yeah, live action.
Yeah.
Jumanji, yeah.
Well, the first one was live
first
action.
one was live action.
Comes
Yeah,
around.
Robin
I'm sorry.
Williams
I'm thinking of something different. I apologize.
It comes out after Rogue One, I think.
Jake Kasdan has been announced as the director for it.
Is he related to Lawrence
Yes,
Kasdan?
it's his son.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
I
Kylo
love
Ren's
the
making
original.
a cameo.
Here's the deal.
I'm sorry I killed
For
your son.
me, I read this today, and I'm like, yeah, I knew there was a remake, but who cares? Does anyone want a Jumanji remake? I mean, the first one's fun and everything, but
Yeah.
I think the only reason they're doing this is to establish a Jumanji universe so they can do a series of Jumanji things.
Yeah, how are they going to get Hutchinson to be in that again? Isn't he in the first one?
Who?
The kid who plays from Hunger Games, isn't he the boy in the first?
Is he?
I thought in the first one, wasn't he?
Well, they're not getting Robin Williams
Well, I'm
back.
saying, but in the first Jumanji, I thought he was the. Isn't he the boy?
Who? Robin Williams?
No, from the first Jumanji.
Yeah.
What the little boy?
It's Jonathan Winters. No, I'm kidding.
Pam Dahmer. Wait, that was on ABC. That's a great show.
That's a great show.
Great show. What's his name? Hutchinson.
Yeah, Josh Hutchinson.
Josh Hutchinson, was he not the boy in Jumanji?
Kirsten Dunst was the girl.
Yeah, I
she
think you
was.
might be right.
Bonnie Hunt. Well, they're not doing a sequel.
I know, but I'm just
they're
saying.
doing a reboot
I'm saying that's
or a remake or whatever. I mean, when it's one
Reimagination?
film, you can't really call it a reboot. You can call it a remake.
Yeah.
And then boot
the grab for more
Jumanji
cash.
universe. But
The Spaceballs too.
It doesn't
Yeah, I just
have
don't care.
The kid.
Bruce
Alan
Willis,
Perry.
they're doing Die Hard Year One. Just the name already has me turned off. Now they've said that Bruce Willis has a bigger part in it. At first, he was supposed to be like bookends, like, oh, I get too old for this. Now it's like he's got a big part in the movie. Does anyone want to see this?
No,
Kinda.
I don't.
Really?
I'm done.
I don't know.
I heard the last one was so awful that it was like Fantastic Four awful.
Enough
Well, I
said-
mean,
enough
I
said.
haven't bothered with the last couple of ones, but the original,
The original is great. The second one is great.
Is good.
The third one and fourth
has
one, I like.
I'd even
like.
go with the third one. That's the one with Sam Jackson.
Yeah, I
right?
like that one.
That one, but then after that,
No,
Wow.
come on. The
Is
fourth
that
one
Jeremy
was good.
Irons? Is that Jeremy Irons?
fourth one was the
Sam
fourth
Allen?
one wasn't that Live Free and Die Hard?
Yeah, that was fun.
Ah,
No, it's the
Is that the
He
computer
couldn't
one?
even say Yippee Ki
Right. Blank or blank.
Oh,
Mother Fire Trucker?
yeah, Fire Trucker.
Oh.
Just
No,
saying, like it's
wait, is that Live Free or Die Hard? What's the
I
next
mean-
one then?
No, fourth is the
Die
computer
Hard Another
one.
Day.
Fourth is the
Yeah,
computer
the one that
one.
Kevin Smith is in. Speaking
Yeah.
of Kevin Smith, he's the wizard.
Yeah.
3 is the.
I like that one.
3 is
Justin
Sam
Long
Jackson and
and
Jeremy
Sam
Irons,
Jackson,
right?
Yeah.
And that one was
But then
to
there's
me the last one that
another
was
one
good.
that came out like this year since we've been doing
Yeah.
this show, and
Last year,
yeah, it's like the worst thing ever.
it was. It was with his son. It was terrible.
Yeah,
Is this Crystal Skulls bad?
Worse than Chris. I could
this
watch
is Fantastic
Christopher-
Four bad.
I would watch Christopher. Yeah, I would watch definitely Indiana Jones again.
Yeah,
Over that Die
over
Hard.
that. Yeah. All right, who has one?
Can I drop the bomb? Is it late enough in the
Drop
show
it.
to do it? All right, so
Drop the bazam.
big news in the Doctor Who world. There's been a lot of tweets and a lot of
yeah.
things going on. Stephen Moffat has said he's looking for his replacement to run the show, and he has found that person, and that person is Chris. Is it Chibnall? Is that how you say it?
yeah,
Chibnall, I think is how you say
Chibnall.
it. He is the guy, the writer and the showrunner for Broadchurch, which is a huge other
That's David
spin-off.
Tennant
That's
as a
David Tennant
detective.
as a detective. It was a
We
book.
did it on Bingeworthy. We
We
talked
did it on
about it.
Bingeworthy,
and
which is a fantastic. He also has written for Russell T Davies and Stephen Moffat. He's written episodes
Of Doctor
and
Who,
so
yeah.
he is going to be
He
the
knows
new
the character. He
showrunner.
knows what's going on.
Right.
He also, I was reading one thing that said he's been very vocal in the past of what's wrong with the show.
Yes,
This new guy.
he has.
Yeah.
He has a lot of opinions about what he would do, which is good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and he'll take it a different
Oh,
direction.
actually, yeah, that's right. I was reading this, and apparently he was also like going after the '80s era Doctor Who.
Well, he was attacking for
like when
sure.
he-
He was attacking the '80s.
Right.
About
he
I
he
think
did
it was
not
from
like the second.
6.
He did not like the second half of it, the last year of Peter Davison or Sylvester or
Yeah, and he said they
Colin
were
Baker.
just not good.
He liked the movie. He liked the direction that it might have gone, but
Right.
it's that reimagination. The good thing about this, the good and the bad. Bad is there's going to be no Doctor Who series this year, 2016. Which they have done before because they have hiatuses. There's going to be a Christmas special, and then they're going to go right into the new
But
season.
the new season's going to be in the spring, so we're only talking like a 4 to 6 month bump.
Right.
So that's not bad. Now the bigger question though is, will they jump in the summer, or will they make that springtime the new Doctor Who time?
Well, who knows? It just depends on what they're doing. Who knows if he's doing Broadchurch as well? I don't know what the future of Broadchurch
He's
is
got.
going to be.
This is the final season
Is
of
it?
Broadchurch,
Okay.
or that's why it's happening the way it's happening. He wraps up Broadchurch. It's the final story, and then he takes over Who.
Well, he takes over 2018, so the way they're making it sound is he will do it. So Stephen
Right.
Moffat is still the showrunner for this Christmas special and the next season of Peter Capaldi,
Right.
which is rumored to be his last.
Right.
So they're going to introduce a new companion this year. This might be Peter Capaldi's last year, and then they're going to roll into a new
showrunner, new doctor,
new showrunner,
possibly.
doctor, and probably keep the
I-
companion to give it some carryover.
I wish we could get another season of Capaldi with a new showrunner.
We might.
I would like to see that, and I'd also
we might, because he might feel the same way. Capaldi's such a Who fan, that he might say, you know what, this could be interesting. Let me do one with him, and then I'm out.
Because he did some great ones. He did True Earth and New Blood or Cold Blood, which is they reintroduced the Silurians into the episode.
Yeah.
They did Pond Life. They did Power of Three or Power of Three.
He's another one that has that deep history with Who.
He loves it. So.
Which Moffat, those guys do too. I mean, they keep trying to bring in these older elements, but this guy definitely is old school Who, which I'm excited for.
Well, he wrote Dinosaurs on a Spaceship.
That's
was
not
a great
a
episode.
highlight.
Yeah.
But
that's not a highlight.
That's a good show,
it's a
though.
Great name,
fun.
and it was good, but it was. That's
it wasn't
one of the
their
weaker,
best.
No, that season is one of the weaker ones.
Sure.
Where they were a little misguided there.
Well, they didn't know what to do, so they brought in different writers for every episode and said, "Here, do what you want, and we're going to throw this out there." He did do that after part to Angels Take Manhattan, where they did the storyboards, or Arthur Darvill did the reading of it, which is like instant
amazing,
tears. It's just like, oh my gosh, you wish they would have actually added that on. Did you see that or not?
Why did they film that?
So
Will doesn't watch Doctor Who.
It's like the Ponds die, and basically what it
Spoiler.
is they get sent back to like 1938 Manhattan. Doctor can't go back. Well, they're living now. They can't have kids, and they adopt a child. So they do the storyboard where Brian's dad, who's played by, what's his name? He plays the Weasley father. So he plays their dad. He's sitting in their house waiting for them to come back. All of a sudden, the door knocks. A man shows up who's about the same age as he is. Gives him a note, and it's like Rory writing a letter back to his father saying, "Dad, I'm sorry. We're not going to come back. This happened. We're stuck here. We can't do anything, blah, blah, blah. Oh, by the way, the guy that you're talking to is your grandson."
Isn't that crazy?
and so, like, you're sitting here going,
I'm getting
oh, my
chills
gosh.
just hearing it.
And you're
It's too
he's
much.
talking about how he was sorry that this happened, and that's part of traveling in time, and this happened. And you're sitting there, and it's like a 5-minute read, and you just see storyboards, and you're just, tears were flowing. It was amazing.
It
That's
is
cool.
crushing.
So, but he's doing that. He wrote that. I mean, he does have a lot of ties to Doctor Who, so I think it's very good for the show.
I do too.
He's very monster driven and very character driven. So he's not. I don't think he's as far reached as Moffat, where he goes like back 10 years. He doesn't have that much history with Doctor Who, but I think it will be good for the future of the show.
I do too.
Yeah, I've enjoyed Moffat, but it is good.
It's ready for a change.
It's ready for a change.
Sure.
And I just hate the idea of this long hiatus. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if that's a good opportunity to slip in a special with Paul McGann.
Yeah. If Moffat can do it, but they've got that school coming out, so they've got a Doctor Who thing coming out at least, where it's not going to be But if he does those one-offs, because all the Torchwood people are doing Big Finish audio, all the doctors are coming back. River Song, Paul McGann are doing a Big Finish audio.
Tennant just did one.
They got the War Doctor. I mean, they could really do something with all of them.
Don't you want to hear that?
Yeah, John Hurt.
You know what? We got to get on those big audio things, man. Too good. Chris got very upset there. All right, let's do. We've only got a couple more minutes. Anyone watch the teaser for Orange is the New Black season 4? It comes back June 17th. Anyone care? No. I care too. I'll tell you what. That little teaser made me care. I was like, yep, I'm back in. I love that show. I think it's good. Second season had problems. Third season was fantastic. I'm ready for 4. Anyone else care about it? Jenny does. You. Orange Whip. No.
Anyone? Orange Whip.
How about the trailer for Pee-wee's Big Holiday?
I haven't seen it, but I'm excited.
I'm ready.
You
know what it looks like? Looks like Pee-wee.
Yeah.
Yes.
The original
Do we
show
really
was
need
just,
Pee-wee back?
Yes.
Yes.
But
Do we?
Yeah, the show on Saturday mornings
better than-
was just it was like a singularity of weirdness that just captured.
And you know what? This
audience.
captures it exactly. It doesn't seem like, why'd they go back to the well? Maybe you don't care about going back to it, but at least it looks like it belongs with the rest. It is canon Pee-wee. I love Pee-wee. So I thought it looked great. Although they must have done a little CGI on the crow's feet, because there's no way Paul Rubens still looks like that.
a lot of
It's like Burgess Meredith.
I mean, some of the photos I've seen in the last few years, he's aged, but not terribly.
Hey, Cherry.
Oh, come on.
As long as
he looks like 9,000. I mean, when he played Pee-wee, he looked like he was, a 25-year-old trying to look like a 13-year-old. Now he's a 55 or 60-year-old trying to look.
Now he looks like a Lil.
What are you talking about? I look good.
I look good.
I make this look good, Men in Black.
Trailer for Neighbors 2. Did you guys see it?
I didn't see the trailer. I knew it was coming.
It looks okay, actually. Kind of scary.
Really kind of hated the first one.
What was?
I
totally missed it. What was it
I
about?
liked the first one.
It's Seth Rogen and
Zac Efron.
Yeah, and his wife, and they move in, or a fraternity moves in next door. It sounds like a funny premise, and then it's just not really that funny. Like, it's just kind of dumb.
Does it sound Pineapple Express bad?
No, I like Pineapple Express compared
I
to
do
this.
too, but I'm just saying.
This was really not good.
They were trying to fit in, going to the parties.
I thought
they have a big baby.
Yeah.
I thought this Neighbors 2 looked pretty funny, except I'm a little afraid. They went back to the well with they do a gag in it where they're like, we're going to put an airbag in the chair, and then it blows them up, and then it shoots Seth Rogen across the room instead, and it's like slapstick, and it's not funny in the movie. I didn't think it was funny at all. They do the same gag in here. They're like, well, if it worked on guys, we'll do it to girls. Ah, ha, ha. No, in the trailer, it's not funny. If that's one of your money jokes, this movie's going to stink.
Oh.
But Chloe Moritz looks funny in it.
Yeah.
It looks funny. And I thought the use of Zac Efron was pretty funny, too. Because they're like, we need somebody who really understands stupid. They bring him back. He's like...
Zac and Seth.
The Wave. Did you guys see the trailer for The Wave?
Is it the fifth wave, I thought?
No, that got 1 out of 10 on JoeBlow.com. It's supposed to be terrible. No, it's a disaster movie called The Wave. It takes place in, like, Norway, and the premise
is... the answer 42?
The premise is they're, like, on this... I don't want to call it... I don't know what they're in. Like a cove. And they say that in, like, 1903, a landslide occurred that caused a tsunami that completely wiped out this village. They've rebuilt, and they're always waiting. They're like, it's going to happen again. And it shows this guy who's, like, following it and everything. And then when it starts to happen, and they're like, you've got 10 minutes. You see people setting their watches and just panic. And the review I read said, in their trailer, they have things that come up that say, makes all the American disaster movies look like crap, that kind of a thing. But I read a review from, like, one of the film festivals, and they said, it really is great. They're like, as silly as these disaster movies are, Day After Tomorrow and things like that, they go, it ups the stakes in a different way. It seems so real. And like, when the 10 minutes start, they're like, you're dying by the time it happens. So, I don't know. The trailer looked good. I suggest it. It does have subtitles, so I don't know. Some of you might be out on that one. But
I live it.
I love subtitles, so it's like a book and a movie at once. I love that. I watched the 4-hour version of Das Boot because I love that.
I don't watch movies to read.
No.
I was going to read. I would read.
You don't read movies to watch either.
That's true.
Did you watch The Host? The Host, you had to read the subtitles, that was awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, see?
I didn't see it.
See?
It's
well,
amazing.
You lose.
Did you see Will Forte? I'm sorry, go ahead. You go ahead.
Did you talk about 10 Cloverfield Lane already last week?
Yeah, we talked about it last week. Okay. Are you excited for it?
I don't know.
All right.
Fair
enough.
If the footage that we see is like the first act and then it moves out of the shelter,
which is what we said last week,
then okay. But if it's just that kind of thing,
they're just in the thing. Then it's that movie with Brendan Fraser and Roller Girl. Remember the one where the
Blast from the Past?
Roller Girl? Forever Heather Graham's known as Roller Girl. I went to high school with you.
Well, what's her best role?
I went to high school with you.
I got another trailer. Did you guys? This one, the
director's
poster,
giving us the time.
The poster looked awful, but the trailer made me a believer. Did you see the trailer for Term Life? You'll like this. It's an insurance joke.
Hold on. It's getting great reviews at Sundance or something.
It's Vince Vaughn. The poster is garbage. They need to change the poster now because it's such a turnoff. I'm like, this looks awful. Then you watch the trailer and it's like, what is this movie? Vince Vaughn looks great in it. Jon Favreau has a cameo in it, of course.
Of course, yes.
And but even the cameo, he's like hilarious in the cameo. You're like, this is just like a great looking action movie with some comedy to it.
I've not seen it.
I was a huge fan of the movie Made. Did you guys see the movie Made?
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
I loved Made. I thought that was a great film that gets swept under the carpets a lot. This, to me, was in that same universe of like, it's funny, yet it's not a comedy. It looks
It's dark. It has
it looks nice and dark, but boy, that poster is god awful.
And I think Vince is making a good comeback where he's taking more, even if it's comedic roles, are a little bit more serious and not being, hey, I'm the slapstick
instead
guy
of Fred Claus.
Yeah, I'm not in.
I like Fred Claus.
Well, I'm not in a movie with one of the Owens
Jingle All the
brothers,
Way.
so we're doing something good because he was good in True Detective 2. This
I
one
didn't see True
was
Detective 2.
fantastic in that
Was
movie.
he?
But he kind of played himself, but I thought he did a good job. Now, the season wasn't as good as the first one, but I thought it was good. I really liked it.
I like him. He does tend to play the same character all the time, which, but every once in a while he'll do a performance where I'm like, whoa. And this looks like you see the Vince Vaughn-iness coming through, but at the same time, I think it looks great. Yes?
Jacob said there's a new movie coming out around Christmas called who thinks it's called
Rogue One.
Rogue
We've
One.
already talked about it. It's a new Star Wars movie, but Jacob, we're going.
And Darth
Yes.
Vader's in it.
All right, is that it? Did we cover everything?
Did you see Will Forte where he shaved half his head? So
No.
for the Last Man on
And
Earth,
half his beard.
he's got like the big beard and all
Yes.
this long hair. He shaved half of his head completely, eyebrows and everything. He walked. It's like, what is wrong with this guy?
I don't
There's
know, but
something
do you
wrong
watch
with-
Last Man on Earth?
He's
It's amazing.
nutty.
It is so funny.
Well,
And he is so great on this show.
Not to spoil it,
He's nuts.
the whole thing is he's the last man on Earth, and like halfway through, they find other men, right?
No. Halfway through the first episode.
Right? So there's other people.
He's
It's
not
like,
the
hey.
last man on Earth. But he
he's
thinks he is.
insane.
So he like goes around and he steals like he's got Jordan's jersey and he's got like a Tyrannosaurus
Frame
head.
autographed Jordan jersey.
right.
I was like, yes.
And he, his whole life is making like giant Jenga towers and stuff. And the first episode, it's a lot of him like taking things that he can go out in a parking lot and blow up. Because he's the last man on Earth. And then he has a kiddie pool that he fills with margaritas. He just lays in it, sipping the margaritas.
The worst is the bathroom situation, though.
Yeah, the bathroom situation is not one you want to know about.
So.
But, okay, is that
He has
it?
a pool and he cuts a hole in the
Yeah, in the diving board.
It's like, oh, God.
Tom Cruise has signed on for the Mummy reboot.
Yes.
Enough said. All right, that's it. Are we done?
That's it. Enough said.
Thank you for listening, everybody. Thank you, Blue Box.
Thank
We'll
you.
be back next week. Thanks,
everybody.
Internet.